If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Have you ever heard anyone say that to you? Well, when is it too good to be true? When is it a good deal? When is it not? When should we be making a decision? Welcome to Momentum Property Education. Today we're going to be discussing that specific question. How do we make sure we do the right deals, get the amazing upside deals, but avoid these too good to be true ones? My name is Daniel Wood. I'm one of the founders of Momentum Property Education, and thank you so much for joining us here today. Every Saturday, we do our passive income show here on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe for those updates. We also, every single Tuesday, have a show that updates you on the economy, gives you some updates on what's going on, as well as our Thursday podcast with interviews with top experts like Kim Kiyosaki, Jordan Harbinger, and other experts from around the world. So welcome to Momentum Property Education. Now, if it sounds too good to be true, is it? Well, a lot of people will say if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if you look in history, there are a lot of times when people have said, has to be too good to be true. I'm going to use a recent example. Take Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was available for $1, do you think people were going around saying, well, that sounds too good to be true? Of course, they still were at $300 or even $1,000. Well, right now it's trading in a range of about $35,000 to $40,000. Well, do you think the people who invested at $100, $300, or even $1,000 are happy with that too good to be true deal? I sure as hell think they are. So pardon my language, but that is an amazing deal. If we go back even further, just look at the car. Imagine when someone came to you, would have come to you, 100 years ago and said, hey, I got this idea for a horseless carriage. What do you think? Well, that sounds too good to be true. And I'm sure you can think of dozens and dozens of these kind of opportunities that have come to you or that have been done in the past that sounded too good to be true that turned out to be. Please share in the comments, what have you seen? What do you think are the best too good to be true kind of stories that have actually turned out to be true? I'd love to hear what you can find. But if we look at it even deeper, I'm sure in your life you've been offered the opportunity to buy property nearby, maybe where you live, or maybe your parents were. My parents had the opportunity to buy in the 80s. There was a big sale off of government-owned property in Sweden. You could buy an apartment building in central Stockholm for, with maybe 5 to 10 flats for about 100K. It's like 20K per flat. Those flats today are worth closer to £1 million per flat. You could get 5 to 10 of them for about, 100K. So it's incredible the value you could do. But again, what do you think my parents said? What do you think the people around them said? No, that sounds too good to be true. But you know what? Sometimes it is. So how do we see the difference? How do we know when something is too good to be true, and it is, and when it sounds too good to be true, but it actually is true? How do we know the difference? Well, the first part is to always go back to what Warren Buffett has as his keystone of his investment. Do I understand the deal? That's the key. Do I understand the deal? If you're going to invest in property and someone says, hey, look, we can do this. We can use a lease option to get the deal, no money down. We're then going to sandwich lease option into someone else and take a cut in the middle. So we're never got any money in. We never have any risk, and we make all the upside. Well, if you don't know property, if you don't know lease options, you're probably sitting there going, well, that sounds too good to be true. But if you understand lease options, well, that's great. Then you can do it. But there could be other deals where someone goes, look, we're going to buy it at 100K. We're going to refurb it for 50K, and then it's going to be worth 300K. Well, that could be true. But if you do your due diligence, you might see, well, wait a sec. A done-up property in this area is not worth more than 90. You're saying we're buying it for 100, we're doing it up for 50, and then it's going to be worth 90? That's not a good deal. And we see that as well. So it can go both ways. So the first thing you need to make sure you do is you need to understand the deal. All right, that's step one. Understand what's going on. Step two is doing that due diligence, doing your own research. Don't just take someone else's word for it. Do your due diligence. If they say they can make this profit, well, prove it. Prove a trading history. Prove experience. Prove that they've done this before. Go and get references, get testimonials, see the deals they've done. If you can prove that they've done it before, you understand how they're doing it, and you understand how they're going to do it in the future, that's great. Then we're talking. So you got to go through that process, understand the deal, Do your due diligence. Just don't take their word for it. Do your own homework. Do your own work. If you do that, you'll be able to start seeing through these too good to be true or scams as they could be. Sometimes you're going to be missing on a deal of a lifetime because you're going, no, it's too good to be true. Again, I could have gotten into Bitcoin at maybe $500 was when I started hearing about it. Well, I didn't. I started buying in now when I'm buying the coins at 30,000. Still, I've done pretty well. It's going to have a great upside. But what if I had invested at 500? Would I have been happier with that? Of course, that would have been a nice profit off of that investment. So you got to be open to looking at these opportunities. You got to learn how to take advantage of them. But also, don't throw yourself into something you don't understand. I've made that mistake multiple times, and sometimes the deals are too good to be true. But just because the upside is amazing doesn't mean it's a scam. That just means you got to take that extra step and go a little deeper. And you know what? If the deal is just okay, please do the due diligence anyway. Please make sure you understand the deal and get your homework done so you're doing good deals every single time. Thank you so much for joining us here on our Saturday Passive Income Show. Next week, we're going to be talking about different passive income ideas that you could implement now to start growing your portfolio. So make sure you subscribe. I hope I see you on Tuesday for our weekly finance update, on Thursday for our interview, where we have our exciting guests coming on every week on the Momentum Investing podcast, and next week when we talk about passive income. So I'll see you there. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.